Plan on flying? In order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID. Learn how to get your real ID today at tsa.gov/realid or visit your local DMV.
This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Hannah Green, Noralia, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, Helena Jacobsen, Matthew Mendoza, Cyndi, and Daniel Moore. And now we have a few people that we need to thank for renewing their annual pledge for another year at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. So thank you so much to Lord Michael, Kat Roscoe, Charlie Edmonds, Bennett Williamson, Sharnice Iacona, Sarah Davey, Ashlee Stahl, Scar, and Alicia Sedai. Thank you so much for your continued support. We really, truly appreciate it and could not do this without you. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Meg621 to our producer team. Thank you so much. You're our newest producer level patron, and we really appreciate your support. We also want to thank and welcome Kaya and Alice to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. It really does mean so much to us. In this episode, we're talking about Chapter 47 of Towers of Midnight.
Yeah, Chapter 47 is a teaching chamber. There's there's a good meeting, there's some terrible stuff that happens, and then some exciting stuff that, promises a lot.
Sure.
So, we have three perspectives. There's a lot to cover.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm excited.
Okay, I don't like the teaching chamber, actually that part, because, terrible, demonian stuff.
I get it.
But there's...
I get that you can't say, I like the teaching chamber.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's a light-up makes it just make it better.
And you know what? I actually, after reading this chapter, was like, oh yeah, you remember how I started my where the heck are they list?
Yeah. And you get not a gold star for sure, for at least one thing.
What?
I'm pretty sure at one point you're like, oh, the White Tower's for sure going to launch a rescue team to go and save Elida.
No, I didn't say for sure. I said I wish they would.
You were hundo percentage.
No, I said I wish they would.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said that would be nice if they did.
I don't think that's happening.
No.
Anyways.
I actually completely forgot that Elida was even still a character
right.
in this book series.
Well, she got one more important thing to do.
I'd written her off. So bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So Elida was on my list. Where the heck?
Yeah. Having a bad time.
Also Tuon. I was
yeah.
Fortuona.
Elida/Suffa. Because she's suffering.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. You get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so I found out where they are.
Yeah.
And what they're doing.
All right. So for the fun fact, I'm going to say a French expression and then I'm going to explain it. And for the record, I'm probably not going to say it or pronounce it correctly, but that doesn't matter. Okay? So the expression is noblesse oblige.
Uh-huh.
All right, so it's a French expression meaning that nobility extends beyond mere entitlement. It requires people who hold such status to fulfill social responsibilities. For example, the primary obligation of a noble could include generosity towards those around him. So, it literally means nobility obliges. So it's
what does this have to do with anything?
I'll explain in a second. So it's almost like an agreement that those who lived on the nobles' lands had obligations to the nobility, and in return, the nobility had obligations to their people, like protection, at the very least.
And fixing roads.
All that stuff, right?
Got it.
Another example would be like the inferred responsibility of privileged people to act with generosity and nobility toward those less privileged. So this is relevant, especially with the Fail, Perrin character arcs, the Elaine meeting, especially in this chapter when we really see Perrin step into his role here.
Yep.
But the reason I found this expression is because there's an interview from 1996 with Robert Jordan. Yeah, it was during a Crown of Swords discussion panel thing. So the question was, how dangerous and how ambitious is Fail?
Oh.
Yeah, interesting question. Now, the answer that Robert Jordan gave was this. He said, exceedingly dangerous, not particularly ambitious. Perrin is due his due as Lord of the Two Rivers. She has been raised as a noble with noblesse oblige.
Okay.
Perrin has been pushed into lording, and she doesn't like him ducking out of what she sees as his obligations. She doesn't understand why he doesn't understand this in his blood like she does in hers.
Okay, well, I would still call that ambition. Even if you're raised to be ambitious.
Yeah,
like,
but
that's still ambition.
that's not really the point of the
I know, but that's
the
what I took
ambition
out of
part
that.
isn't. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she's not like ambitious as in she's trying to take the throne of Saldea, and
I
she's
don't
not.
I think ambition can come in many forms.
That's fair.
I don't
That's
think
fair.
you have to like strive for
This is.
just
I'm just giving you Robert Jordan's answer to
I
his
know.
own characters.
I know. I thought we were
But-
having a conversation here.
Now you're coming at me for Robert Jordan's answers. I just found it like a really interesting point that explains Fael and Perrin's relationship, and a crazy term that to just like throw that into an answer.
You know what? If anyone, though, it's Robert Jordan
Yeah. So
to throw that stuff out.
I was reading interview questions, and I was like, I don't know what the hell that means.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So then I wanted to like, oh, okay, that actually really explains the obligation part that Fael's always angry at Perrin about.
Right.
And Perrin's like, I don't get it. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And
That's
she's
totally
like,
fair.
She's like, you have to.
He's like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here he really does step into it. Like,
Sort of.
I mean, he tells Elaine like, F
Yeah,
off.
he does.
I'm not
well,
going
that
away.
part. That part. Yeah.
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 He's like, I'm not going anywhere. So
And shove your taxes up your butt.
yeah.
Okay.
You roll the taxes into a tight little ball and shove it up your butt. All right. Okay. Shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we do this?
Sure. Okay. So chapter 47 is called A Teaching Chamber, and the chapter symbol is the Adam, which
Yeah.
is a little confusing because we start out with Perrin and Fael and Elaine.
You're like, oh my
and
god.
Margaret, and I'm like, oh no, what's about to happen here? Because we do know that there are some Damane and Sualdam
Yeah.
in Camelin.
Yeah.
So
Anything's possible.
except for that, it's nothing happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Now, before I start though, do you want to know which character you 100% are from this book series?
It's a Perrin.
It's not Perrin.
It's not Perrin.
No. You're like sorta Perrin.
Oh, you're gonna say something mean.
It's not mean. it's not mean.
Okay.
If it's true.
It's meant as a compliment.
It's not really.
You are Master Nori, and you like talking about facts about
Nope.
the castle. What?
Nope.
Who?
It's Galad.
No. Okay, actually, I know what
Do you
you're
want
going to
to
say
know
now.
why?
Yeah, because he says, "No, I don't need to come to this meeting. I got enough out of that first dinner
Basically,
conversation."
Yeah, because Fael's like, "Are you sure you don't want to come?" And he's like,
Yes.
"Yeah." And this is exactly you.
Do you want to go see your mom again? Your mom
Because
and your sister?
I'm literally going to Winnipeg with our children
I'm not
to
coming.
see your family and my
Yeah.
family. And I was like, "Hey, are you sure you don't want to come?" And you're like, "Nah.
Yeah, I'm good."
Once at Christmas was sufficient."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and that's all I could think of when I was
Yeah.
reading it. I was like, "Oh, that's Brett."
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah. Nah, that one dinner
Meh.
was sufficient enough for catching up.
Last me another
Yeah.
couple years.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah. Anyway, that was funny.
Yeah, good thing there's zero possibility of them ever hearing this too. So
Oh yeah, they won't hear it.
it's not a chance.
No, because they just like don't give a shit about this anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now Fael.
Right, back to it. We're
Yeah.
actually doing something here.
Right. Okay. So we are going to be in her perspective during this whole thing, which actually kind of throws me off a little bit, and I kind of forget later in the chapter.
Right.
When like Perrin and Elaine are kind of going back and forth, and I actually think it would be kind of interesting to be in Elaine's perspective for this meeting,
I could see that too.
because what goes on in her head and like what she says usually.
So
are
what I'm
different.
hearing is you're a big enough Wheel of Time fan that you want this political negotiation scene in at least 3 different perspectives.
Nope.
That's what I've heard here.
That's what you heard, huh? It's not what I said.
Okay.
Just because something is kind of interesting doesn't mean I like want it.
Yeah, no, I'd read that.
Yeah.
I'd read that.
I know you would. Okay.
Okay.
I would too. Oh, God. Okay, anyway. So we're going to head through a gateway with a crew that does not include Galad.
Yes, but I have the rest of the crew. So we got, and it's got to look impressive, right? It can't look aggressive, but it's got to look impressive.
Sure.
All right, so we've got Alejandra with 100 soldiers plus Arganda.
That's not excessive?
No, it's not. It's impressive.
Okay.
The 100 Two Rivers archers who have unstrung bows. That's
not
not aggressive.
aggressive. Yeah.
Okay. 100 of the Wolf Guard, and it's always funny because Perrin was like, what are those guys? And then a large contingent of minor Kyrian nobility, which is interesting because she's Elaine. She is in the middle of trying to take over Kyrian.
Right.
And then Garl and the Maidens. Always good to have Aiel. Perrin and Fael. And then, most importantly, Grady.
Usherman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one? Just Grady?
Just Grady. Now, interesting note about Grady. We get a tiny little tidbit here. It's like an offhanded comment. He tried to make a gateway to the Black Tower earlier today.
Oh.
And it didn't work.
I read this chapter twice.
Yeah.
And I missed that.
Yeah. So Perrin said, yeah, you can go to the Black Tower. And he tried to make a gateway, and it didn't work. And Perrin is going to have to investigate soon because we know one thing specifically makes
Dream
gateways
spikes.
not work.
Is it Dream Spike?
Well, we know that that's at least one thing. So.
Oh, no. I knew there was
just-
evil stuff going on there.
And like, why? Why would that be right?
Evil stuff.
Something.
Oh, man. Evil guys.
Okay. So that's an important note to, and we're going to blow past that too because it's like a half of
I actually didn't even pick it up either time I read it.
Yeah, because again, from Fael's perspective, it's like such an offhanded thing because she doesn't know. Like, I don't think Perrin has really done a good job of
the
like
only thing I know about Grady is later on when he has no sense of humor.
Yeah. Okay.
Matt does not understand that.
Right.
But anyway, we get that we're going to see Elaine for a meeting.
Yes, and Perrin put Fael in charge, or at least permission to lead the negotiation.
Cool.
Good plan.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Okay.
Now,
do you want to talk about the food subsidies of Andor?
Not even a little.
Okay. Well, we'll just blow past that. Then.
Actually, I kind of do. So here's the thing. Fael's like, oh, that Elaine, she's going to have to be doing things to subsidize the food. And I want it to be like, Fael, she already is.
Right,
Relax.
probably. Well, she thinks that.
No,
she thinks that.
100% is because she's making gateways to Tyr to bring in food from different places.
Yeah.
Like, she's already doing that. And Fael's like, Elaine's going to have to think about that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Fael, she already has. A long time ago. Relax.
She's so far ahead of you in this.
Yeah, relax.
You don't even
Fael.
know. You don't even know. Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm not here defending Elaine or anything, but like, Fael,
Well, I gotta say, historically,
get your head out of your ass.
Historically, Andor has pretty good like social programs because way back in like Eye of the World, I think it was, we know that they have like food programs to feed people.
Yeah.
And you don't have to beg because they have like money and food for you.
And it's
regardless.
the worst. We hate beggars around here.
Right. We just give them the support they need.
What?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Not like that other place that has like a whole interconnected hierarchy of beggars and stuff.
Oh, the guilds and stuff?
That's great. It's like a beggar guild. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I like that system much better.
It's Ebudar, isn't it?
I think so.
Not anymore. Not anymore. It's not. Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Continue on.
All right. So they make it to the palace, and only some of them are going to actually go.
Yeah, because there was like hundreds, and now only 100 are going to go, but it's like a bunch from the different groups.
Big news. There is a circle of clear sky above the city.
Yep, that's true. That was the big news.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, and like how the place looks from the last time they were here.
Okay.
When Rand was in control.
Oh, right. Okay. And I was struggling to remember when Fael was in Caemlyn.
It was right after the whole Ravine thing. Rand kills Ravine, and then Perrin with Fael, that was right after the Battle of the Two Rivers, they came to Caemlyn, and that's when they all came here, and then Fael, like Perrin met Fael's dad here.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then they went to Kyrian together, and then that's when the weird fake fight thing happened to go send Perrin back.
Yeah, like after.
Yeah.
There's a couple steps of things.
Completely forgot all of that.
Yeah, because like Davram Bashir did the whole sitting on the chair throwing the knife at all that stuff happened here. So
Okay.
Yeah, so it like looks the same. Like the building looks the same, but so much has changed in the last 1 year. Mm-hmm. When Morghese, then Ravine, then Rand, and now Elaine is ruler. So
okay, and now Elaine looks just like Morghese, except different. And
it's almost like she's her daughter.
Yeah, okay, but it's like the real reason why they're here. They need to talk about the Two Rivers and its future.
Yeah, so we have an official purpose of the meeting, and then like the unofficial purpose of the meeting.
Okay, so Elaine starts off the meeting by recognizing.
Well, you didn't say the official purpose. Official purpose is to say good job for bringing back Morghese. Unofficial purpose is let's hash out Two Rivers stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so Elaine starts off and is like, "Listen, hi Fael, hi Alejandra, but in like a really noble way.
Yeah, fancy titles and stuff, yeah.
Fancy titles, full names and everything.
Yeah.
And then, oh, hi Perrin.
No titles.
No titles.
Nothing.
And then Elaine says, thanks for bringing more gays back. We're going to celebrate my mother's return with a party. And then she asks Fael and Perrin if they want like a present, like a thank you
boon,
gift.
Yeah. The word is a boon.
I know.
Have you never heard the word?
Well, I sussed out what it meant.
Okay. It's used in D&D. You can get boons.
I figured it out based on context.
Yeah.
But I've never heard it personally.
Okay.
Maybe, is it a pirate term?
That's
no,
booty.
it's a bounty.
Booty.
Oh, booty.
It's like treasure and such.
No. I want my boon to be a booty.
Yeah. Yeah.
A whole big treasure chest. No.
Sure.
Okay, so it's like, do you want a thank you gift? That's what it sounds like.
Basically,
okay.
That's what it is. And it doesn't have to be a physical thing. It'd be like...
do you want titles? Like, what
exactly.
do you want? Yeah. It's okay.
I will do this thing for you.
Do you want a trip to the firework factory?
Yeah, I can make that happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Want to come see the dragons? They shoot fire.
Not that though.
Not that
though. You can't see that.
No, only one of them.
Right.
One.
Oh no. Okay. So yes, we want a boon. No, we don't want to talk about it in front of all these people because it's like in a big audience chamber. There's a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And she's
so
like,
Elaine's
no.
like, yes.
Yeah.
Fine. Look, I have my sitting room prepared for just such an incident.
And I know you say that she says that, but it's a full 30 seconds between Fael saying, can this be private? And Elaine sits for 30 seconds and then says, okay.
From Fael's perspective.
It could have been like,
2 seconds.
From Elaine's perspective, it was like 4 minutes.
She's like, I made her wait for it.
It's a power move.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. See, I could see that happening too.
Okay. Fael also does some mild speculation on who the father of Elaine's baby might be. Because could it possibly be Rand himself?
Could it even be? It's like the guy. I don't even want to say it.
I think it's pretty much answered when Fael says, hey Elaine, do you know where the Dragon Reborn is? And she goes, ugh, that sheep-headed lummox.
Yeah.
Hate that guy, goat-brained idiot.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, okay, that's the father of your baby.
There you go, it makes sense. Oh man, okay.
Okay, anyway, so Elaine kicks off this smaller, more intimate conversation.
Right, because now we're like in this separate sitting room.
Yeah. And she probably thinks she's like doing so good. I think she does a pretty good job.
I think so.
She's like, so, explain to me why I shouldn't just execute you both as traitors.
Yeah, it's a strong start.
Yeah.
Oh, also, we have to mention that it's basically just Elaine and Morgaze is here too.
Yeah.
And then Perrin Fael. It's basically the audience right now. Because Morgaze is going to speak up in a second.
And when you say basically, like, that's it.
I think, like, I don't know. I don't know if there's, like, a guard or something. I can't remember if there was, like, another guard. So, basically, that's who's here. There's not, like, all the nobles and whatever. Like, even Grady doesn't get let in.
Well, Perrin's like, I don't think Rand would like it very much if you murdered me.
Yeah, well, that's your opinion.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a whole back and forth conversation.
Yep.
Fael and Perrin point out that they didn't set out intending for any of this to happen. Perrin hasn't even named himself king and never will. He doesn't want your throne.
And we're here peacefully to figure this out. Like, let's hash this out.
Right.
And then Elaine says that you're seducing my citizens.
Yeah.
And you raised the flag of Manetheren, and I'm going to do what's best for Andor no matter what, even if that means chopping your heads off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and also this is when Elaine wants to reveal that she sent people, tax collectors,
right,
to the Two Rivers to collect taxes, and they got thrown out on their butts.
Yeah.
In a comedic fashion.
Yeah. This is the lands of the Lord Perrin Golden Eyes. We refuse your taxes.
Yeah.
Perrin's like, oh no.
And shove that up your butt. Take your taxes and shove them up your butt.
Yeah. Like, there's a really good point too, because Perrin points out that, yes, you have ignored the Two Rivers forever, and Elaine says, well, you weren't rising up in rebellion, and he's like, well, that's not the only reason you should have paid attention to us. You could have been doing all the other things you should have done. The noblesse oblige, that whole deal.
Fixing our roads.
Right? Those things.
Providing.
Schools.
Yeah. Well, also.
Yeah.
There was an entire Trolloc attack on the Two Rivers, and no help.
None. Yeah.
From them.
There's issues. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, Alejandra wants to point out... Oh, I guess she's here too.
Oh, yeah. There you go. See, I knew it. I knew it.
I was like, like, oh.
I knew there was somebody else
That's
missing.
in my notes, Alejandra. Oh, yeah, okay. So she points out...
Everyone else is very shocked that she's even here.
What?
It's like, wow.
And she just, like, starts talking?
Yeah.
Now, she points out that executing the leader of the Two Rivers, the elected leader,
Right.
so to speak,
Yeah.
will for sure start a huge rebellion.
Yes, that would be bad.
If you think you have a rebellion on your hands now,
You will have one.
just you wait.
Yeah. And then we have Morgaze stepping in because, don't worry, Morgaze isn't going to step on any toes or overshadow her daughter. That's never going to happen. But she says, hey, I have an idea. Why can't we just let the Two Rivers have the person in charge of the place? Like, they chose them. Let's just do that thing.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, and Elaine's like, I don't know, though.
Maybe.
Because can anybody just rise up and be like, I'm a lord now?
Well, let me explain to you, Elaine, how all lords everywhere
Yeah.
came into power.
Some of them are named
By who?
the ones who came up into power. Duh.
Yeah. But it's like literally being able to hold your title is how you hold your title.
Uh-huh.
You do it through power.
Sat down in the manager's chair. It was empty.
Yeah, you sit in it and
And now you're the manager.
then you just don't get up.
And you just don't get up.
And no one kicks you
You don't
out.
leave.
Done.
Now
That's
the
it.
manager.
Tug. You need someone to kick them out.
Yeah.
You
Or
just-
not.
Or not.
Or just let him be.
Exactly. There you go. Those are your options. That's it.
Yeah. And also Morgaze is like, and also he's Taviran.
Yeah.
And you are going to get crushed if you try to go up against him.
Yeah. And honestly, like, he's not a bad dude.
Yeah.
Not a bad dude.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
I don't mind Morgaze stepping in here.
Yeah. Well, she did say that she was going to.
Yeah.
She promised.
She's going to speak for them.
Yeah.
On their behalf.
She's warned everyone ahead of time, so I do appreciate that she's doing
she
it.
also says, sorry if I overstep.
Yeah, that's true. And then you can legally say whatever you want
You
to
just
after
do
you say
whatever
that.
you want.
Doesn't matter.
And then people will be like, well, you overstepped.
I said sorry
already in
ahead of
advance.
time. It's amazing.
In advance, I apologized for overstepping. So, like, don't come
Yeah.
at me.
Okay, so now we got to hash out the specific demands or details.
Sure.
The details of this agreement here. So, we need Perrin with an official title. He can be the High Lord over the Two Rivers, meaning he'd outrank...
Yeah. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so he's going to outrank the other noble houses in Andor, but still beneath the Queen. But that's going to cause problems with the other noble houses, because they're going to be like, well, we want to be High Lords.
And
Yeah.
they can suck it.
Exactly, basically.
They can shove it in...
Shove their title up their own butts.
Right.
There you go. We also
they
have to...
can shove their complaints up their butts.
That's true.
Yeah.
And, and their titles if they want
And
to.
they are welcome to write their complaints down, put it in an envelope,
Yeah.
seal it with a wax seal, and shove it up their butt.
There you go. Okay. All right. So we also have to make sure the Two Rivers is going to be exempt from taxes because we can't have that. And then Perrin has to agree that he's going to marshal troops in Andor's defense. And he can also call on his sworn monarchs, like Alejandra, for example. And then Fael points out that having a coalition these days is going to be a good thing.
The many
Yeah.
is better than
The few.
the few.
Yeah. And do we want to talk about how tariff-free trading with your allies
Nope.
is a good thing?
Nope.
Okay, we're gonna blow right over there.
I think everybody knows that.
Blast past that. Okay.
Thought that
Thought it was covered.
that was pretty
That was
obvious.
like day one. Okay. All right. So now we have a coalition. We have Elaine.
We are not a political... we talk about Andorran politics only.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
not talking about anything.
Okay. Andor versus the Two Rivers. Okay. Okay. So we have Elaine, who can have basically this coalition of Andor, Two Rivers, Gildan. There's ties to Saldea through Fael. And then Berelain also follows parents. We got Mayenne.
Also, should I be surprised to find out that Fael is second in line to the throne? Did I know that? That felt like a big deal. Like I needed to write it down.
Maybe. I feel like we've kind of assumed or at least heard of it.
I don't know.
Because it's Tenobia, it's her cousin.
I know.
And then it's like
But
her
that
dad's
feels-
Bashir.
That feels like a
Pretty close.
sideways step down the family tree and not like a direct line to the next descendant. You know what I mean? So now it's like she's second in line.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of this
Doesn't
as
that
brand
mean-
new information.
Doesn't that mean if like Tenobia dies, then Fael's a queen?
Yeah, that's the point of their next conversation
That's
here.
wild.
That's why Elaine says that's too close.
I feel like I didn't know that.
Okay, well, maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't.
Because I know that she's like part of the noble family. like royal family.
Yep.
I didn't know she was that close in line.
Well, neither did Elaine.
Now she does.
Well, now we got to really figure this out. So, okay. And now if Elaine takes Kyrian, now we've got 5 to 6 nations who can be a conglomerate against everybody else who might be coming after them.
Yeah, and you know what? Old news. Rand is already doing this.
Exactly. He's got Tyr. He's got Ilion. He's got Eridomen probably. He's not doing as well. Well, he's given a lot of places away, okay? Because, like, technically, if he wanted to, he could have Andor and Kyrian. He kind of has the borderlands, if he wants them.
Yeah.
He's basically won over the Shanshan, too. Like, he's basically got everything.
He did not.
He's got everything
He did not.
Rand has
win over
everything figured out pretty much at this point.
the Shanshan.
We are good to go.
Good to go.
One unified world. It's great.
Just the North and the West or something needs to go together. We don't even need the whole world.
That's true.
Isn't that the prophecy or
That's
something?
the prophecy. You got it.
Or
Okay.
The North and the East?
Mm-hmm.
Or the South and the West?
Mm-hmm. You got it, man.
Two of the directions
Yeah.
that typically don't go together
Gotta
will
be
go
tied.
together.
Gotta be tied with the. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You got it. You're right there.
Hey, I'm impressed I remembered that much.
That's good. Now we have the most important question. Hey, something, line of succession. Fael's like, whoa, I'm second. Elaine says, that's too close. What happens if you end up on the throne of Saldea? That's how I'm going to lose the 2 rivers to another country, and that's not cool. So now we've got this whole thing about what do we do with our kids? Well, okay.
I don't even know why the discussion goes there. It's so dumb.
Well, it's not dumb. It's literally figuring out political
dumb.
allegiance. This
It's
is a thing
so
that all
dumb.
nations do. It's
I
talking about marrying
understand
children
that.
together.
I understand that, except that
Who's going to rule what?
Elaine is such a hypocrite.
Well, yeah.
Because she wasn't promised to anyone
Yeah, but she
at birth.
deserves to be queen. Have you met her?
No, she deserves to be queen, sure. But she wasn't married off
Yeah.
to some other, like, king of somewhere or some noble of somewhere.
Sure.
So
Well,
for her to
she's
be
trying
like,
to protect Andor.
Like, they don't even have babies yet.
Why are you acting like nobles being hypocrites? It's surprising.
I don't know. I didn't like it. And I
What?
liked Fael. She was like, no.
Well, Perrin says that.
Well, and Fael is like, no.
Yeah. Fael backs him up.
Yeah. That's not how we do things. They will
So anyway,
marry for love.
We can encourage them, though.
A little encouragement, maybe.
That's fine.
And I mean, like, this is super bold on Elaine's part to
Yeah.
say this. Number one, Fael and Perrin don't even have children yet.
Yeah.
And
Well, you think they're not going to have kids?
maybe no. But
They're
also,
nobles. It's part of their obligation.
but also, who's to say in like 20 years from now, there's not going to be like a way better
Yeah.
lord and whoever to match her children with.
That's not how nobles work.
Well, it should be though, because we can't like 20 years beforehand. Like, what if everything goes to
Let
shit?
me introduce to you the concept of arranged marriages between.
No, I know.
Let me explain the nobles of our world and the
Nah.
royalty of our world.
No,
and how
no
they're all
thanks.
interconnected.
I just think that it's just not very strategic.
Okay, fair.
I think we should at least wait till they're 10. At least wait till there's actual people.
like within. Okay, yeah.
At least wait till there's actual people
Sure.
to marry
This
each
is
other.
this is why you're not allowed to be in charge of a
Wait
nation.
until there are at least 10.
This is why you're not queen.
Like, you can't marry like 8-year-olds, but like maybe 10.
Maybe 10. Okay.
Like at least that. Like like you could
Yeah.
like probably predict a decade in the future. Like maybe.
Yeah.
But this feels irresponsible.
Okay, so now we're gonna figure out the like technicalities here because Elaine has to go through the how are we actually gonna word this to make it all good,
Can we
so people have to do
less
it.
time talking about this?
I'll just do it real quick. So
Okay.
we say Morgaze actually makes a suggestion. We're gonna give the 2 rivers to the Dragon Reborn, and it's like his seat in Andor, and that gives us justification to give the 2 rivers autonomy to do basically whatever they want.
So the other High Lords don't
Exactly, so they can't
take
argue
their
it.
complaints out of their butts. and-
Exactly. You'd be like, oh,
them
it's
to your
because
inbox.
it's the Dragon Reborn. So Perrin is the steward of the 2 rivers, so he's like the acting
And he's like, huh, I
he's
like
acting
that.
manager.
Yeah.
And he's cool with that. And then for taxes, we're going to have Perrin put the taxes into a trust or whatever, and that could be administered by Perrin and his family for building roads and such. But technically, if the dragon ever says, yo, I want that tax money, you got to give it to him.
Right. And Perrin's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. But we're not going to tell Rand that he has any tax money. Because
No.
Rand's the guy who's like, I don't have any money, even though he just like conquered a country.
Right, yeah.
It's like, I don't have any cash. And they're like,
Right.
dude, you have so much of it.
Right.
Anyways. Okay, so yeah, we figured it out. It's good.
Okay, now, speaking of that guy,
Where is
where is he?
Yeah.
Ugh, that wool-headed guy.
Yeah.
What a goat-brained idiot.
Goat-brained, sheep-herder, yeah.
Yep.
He has ruined Egwene's day.
Just pissed her right off.
Yeah, because, she's Amerlin now.
By the way, she's Amerlin now. Finally.
Yeah, and File's like, why does Perrin not look surprised by that? It's because we saw Perrin
Wolf Dream
with Egwene.
That's right.
And that whole thing.
Yeah, but
That makes
File's
sense.
like, oh shit, how did that happen?
It's amazing.
Yep.
Okay, so we get Rand's plan. We're going to break the seals in the Dark One's prison. Egwene doesn't want that to happen.
She's gathering a force to persuade him not to do that. And that's just a little bit of a tidbit for readers. Don't forget.
Don't forget that's the plan.
That's happening.
And maybe Perrin can help with that.
And Elaine's like, we gotta stop him. He's the worst.
Totally.
And Perrin's like, yeah, maybe I can help.
Maybe
I can help with that.
Maybe.
I was like, hey guys, how
Maybe.
about don't?
Maybe.
How about just let Rand do what he's gonna do?
Right. That was the whole thing, is like clear the rubble.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, the most ominous thing that keeps replaying in my brain is that Elaine says she doesn't know where Rand is right now, but she knows where he will be. And am I supposed to know? Or do we know where Rand is going to be?
Well, I mean, he told Egwene where he's going to meet them for this meeting.
In like a month, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that could be what she's
I
talking
don't know.
about.
I don't think it is. It doesn't
We
feel
have a
that way.
scheduled meeting with Rand.
I mean, okay.
Where else do you...
I don't know. I just thought it was something like, ooh, like I'm supposed to speculate on it.
In her bed. What? I don't know.
And I was like, ooh, is it because of the bond? Like she could feel, or like, I don't know.
No, it doesn't work like
how
that.
does she know?
Yeah.
Where's he going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my dreams.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that's the end of this perspective.
Okay.
Let's take a quick break.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get into the next one.
Fortuona.
Ooh.
Plan on flying? In order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID. Learn how to get your real ID today at tsa.gov/real ID or visit your local DMV.
Okay, so we are back, and we are going to switch perspectives to the artist formerly known as Tuon.
There you go. Tuon's dead. It's now Fortuona.
Right. So she is marching into some teaching chamber.
Yeah.
In
Damani training facility.
the fanciest fancy dress that anyone ever fancied.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so there's like a little thing that happens in this perspective here where she is doing what seems to me like affirmations, where she's like, the Empress is Shanshan. The Empress will live forever. The Empress must be obeyed. And I can just imagine her like doing them on like a little voice recorder and then like, listening them back to them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I like to imagine here.
That's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Little daily meditation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to get in the right headspace.
Manifesting.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, because
She
she has
gets it.
seen some omens.
Yes.
And you know what? I think I've been missing omens in my life.
You just like start looking for them. They'll appear.
Because I've never heard an owl hooting outside my bedroom window, and then when I looked at it, it didn't fly away.
Yeah.
You know, like things like that.
Yeah. Well, fun fact for our real lives is we're going to be doing a dinner party, and you're going to be, what is it called? The prophecy lady?
Yeah, that's what it's called. You got it.
Yeah. And I was like,
her name is Clairvoyant.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can just use all the
Omens.
that the Shanshan see all the time. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Do the Min viewings. It'll be like fantastic. Just use those.
Right.
People will think you're so creative because you're like coming up with these wild and crazy things.
I know.
And we won't even say that they're from the book series. They'll never know.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Today I saw a trail of ants that was broken by a stick.
The line was broken or it wasn't broken?
It was.
Wow.
The
Okay.
line of
Okay.
ants was
Wow.
broken.
That's oof.
I know.
That's yeah.
And the other day I got stung by a wasp.
That actually
So
happened.
that's a horrible
That
omen.
actually did happen. Yeah, on your butt.
Right. I sat on a wasp.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Terrible oven. Terrible.
I don't recommend it. 0 out of 10.
Oh man. Okay. How do we feel about Beslin? So King Beslin
God,
comes
I
in.
hate him so much. I hate him.
He has gone from the collegey frattiest boy,
Yeah.
rebel, let's set some buildings on fire and get in a fight tonight.
You know what? his self-preservation game is so strong.
It's pretty strong. He's not dead right now.
Oh, no. And
he's the king.
I like to believe that secretly he's like plotting some stuff because
like
Tuon specifically says
it's so he is like, so strange to her.
She's like, I don't get it. He's not even plotting my assassination.
He hasn't met with even one assassin about killing me yet. What is wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
That freaks me out, man.
I feel like because she said that, it must be wrong.
That's really funny, actually, because in the wetlands, you don't plan assassinations for your leader, but in Seanchan you do. So we've got Captain General Galgan here. He's like the main dude who is openly against Suroth, and Suroth, I'm pretty sure, hated him.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, he was also the guy who suggested the White Tower attack.
I bet it was a love-hate relationship.
I don't think so. I think it was a hate. They both hated each other.
No secret rendezvous?
I really don't think so.
Lust born out of hate?
Not
enemies to lovers?
Not that either. None of those things. But here's the thing.
Oh, because Suroth's dead. No.
You tell me.
Isn't she like even lower than the carpet or something?
Taco Val?
Yeah.
Okay, so Galgan, he at least has met with a bunch of assassins in the city.
Or did she get her head chopped off? Sorry, I interrupted you.
You've ruined things for me.
I've ruined everything.
Yeah, like the last time we saw her, I think, was when Tuon walked in, made her Taco Val.
Yeah.
Like stripped her of titles.
Someone else's head got chopped off, though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, she's out of the picture right now. But anyways, back to Galgan. So he's met with assassins in the city and asked about, like, quotes. He's gotten quotes about getting Fortuona murdered, assassinated. And then he had all the assassins who gave him quotes, all of them got assassinated. It's amazing. Okay, it's a good move because it shows how strong he is. But also, like, you know, I'm loyal for now.
For now.
But then we got this crazy guy, Beslan, who's doing none of that. He's just listening to the rules and doing the things.
Well, so she thinks.
Yeah, I mean, she does think so. So
he
you
could
think
be plotting with his, like, stupid frat boys.
He could be.
And she'd have no idea.
She just doesn't get it. It's just like a different culture.
It's just different.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh man, they should be plotting my assassination by now.
Or like showing me that you're plotting my assassination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Beslan would be
you
like,
would for sure hide that.
Stupid.
You would for sure not tell anyone.
Yeah. So I don't like Beslan.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't believe that he's trying to overturn the Seanchan.
Well, which is it?
I don't know. I don't like him. I don't think he's actually doing anything. But I think it would be funny, and I would like it better if he did.
Okay, fair enough.
How's that?
That's good.
Is it hedging too much?
It's pretty hedgy, but I mean...
I don't think he is.
You pretty definitively said he's not, but you wish that he was.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And if I'm wrong, then I'll be happy.
Right.
Because that'd be great, because Beslan sucks now.
And you put that on the table as an option here.
Yeah.
So now we've got Melitene. We've seen her before. She's the Dur Suldam. She's the Suldam trainer.
Oh, man.
Yeah. She trained Suldam. That's what the Dur
and she comes
means.
in. Yeah. She comes in.
Yep.
With...
It's such a
really horrible looking Damane
who cries all the time. It's
she
so
cries
annoying.
A lot.
This
I
Damane's
wish she would
the
stop
worst.
Crying so much.
But she's she doesn't listen for the amount that she cries. She's terrible at following directions too. And you're like, oh, I know who that is.
I actually had no idea.
That's so funny. Okay.
And even the whole like, oh, Safa will show the Empress the power of slicing the air.
Like we know that Elida is called Safa.
Yeah, but I didn't remember that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even really pick it up. Like, I don't even actually like read names.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm like, ugh, some Damane. You know, it doesn't matter to me what her name is. I'm like, okay, get to the point.
Okay.
But then
she says the
Safa
important part.
Shouts out, I'm the Amerlin seat. And I went, oh.
Yeah.
Right. Because I actually forgot a line. It was even a thing I needed to remember.
Yeah. So two things. Okay. Two things. Because she is not a dark friend. She is bound by the oath rod. So what she says, she believes.
Uh-huh.
She believes she is still the Amerlin seat. Hundo percentage.
If we don't think that the Seanchan have some sort of other oath rod.
Well, okay, we've seen them with Aes Sedai being like, they actually have to follow their oaths.
Oh,
and it's really annoying.
Okay, but that's true, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And
So
then
she says, listen to me. If you return me, I will give you 10 women to take my place. No, 20. The most powerful the White Tower has.
so Elida would 100%.
And at this point...
I'm not surprised that she would.
No.
But the fact that she's saying it...
Man, Elida sucks so bad.
It's just, because you have to imagine, like, Egwene in her place, or anybody, like so many other Aes Sedai...
Would never.
They still wouldn't do that.
Never. But how embarrassing.
Oh, so...
For the Suldam.
Yeah, Dur
Oh
Suldam.
my gosh. This outburst.
So sorry for the outburst.
Oh my gosh. This is so embarrassing.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, the Empress is very forgiving, and she understands that all of the Aes Sedai are so problematic. They are all so terrible.
And they're stubborn.
Yeah.
And this one especially seems very stubborn.
Yeah, so like totally get it. You don't have to be embarrassed about it. It's fine. We're all working on it.
Yeah. And so Elida finally stops shouting about stuff.
Right.
After mild torture.
Yeah. Light beating. Just a little bit.
No, just in her brain though. Not actually beat.
Well, yeah, like Adam beatings.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think in my head I picture beating different than just like mentally causing pain.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like the description of this room.
Why?
Because I didn't pick it up the first time.
Okay, like the carpet and stuff?
Well, yeah, so there's a place for Damani to writhe around on the ground.
Yeah.
So that they don't like get bruises.
Yeah.
Because they can't be outwardly injured.
Right.
It's only inward.
Yeah,
Just break their brains.
Yeah.
Not their body. And so there's also a bunch of pottery lined up on one wall for practicing blowing shit up.
Right.
And it reminds me of like the tin cans and like the shooting BB guns.
Yeah.
Out at the, like in the backyard. I don't know, it just is so funny to me.
It is pretty funny.
I didn't pick it up the first time and I went, "Oh, a teaching chamber."
It's yeah.
The room where they're taught.
It's a training facility for Damani.
Training facility.
Yeah, because they're animals, and you don't just like you gotta train your animals properly.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, turns out, Elida not only is the worst, but then now she's the worst again because she just gives the Seanchan gateways.
Yeah, it's huge. This is actually huge.
This is miserable.
It's
I hate this so much.
It's gigantically enormous and hugely consequential for how small of a part of a chapter it is. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the thing that we have been worried about for so long.
This makes me realize how close to the end of this book we actually are.
Yep.
And how we only have one book left.
And it's like, you want to ramp stuff up? Well, I'll tell you how to ramp stuff up. Give the Seanchan traveling. And then bing, bang, boom. Game over, man.
Just kill everyone who knows.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The gateway opens. We have another omen.
A bird flies by.
Of great power. Yep. I think so.
Yeah, she sees a bird fly by the window.
Yeah, whoa. Changes everything.
Yeah.
No. The gateway changes everything. The omen is just, like, really good. So here's a question. These omens do actually seem to be pretty accurate.
Do they?
As a whole, like, things kind of, like, the omens are crazy, but they're pretty accurate about what's happening.
Okay.
In the moment.
Sure.
Because, like, a huge thing is happening, and that's, like, the omen. So, I don't know.
I mean, like, I could see any omen I want right now.
That's fair.
I could be like, you know what? My glass of wine that I'm holding, I just noticed, is less than half full.
So what does that mean?
It means it's time to call it a day because nothing else good will happen today.
But we have to finish this chapter.
No, we will, but then I'm going to bed. That's what this means.
You're not very good at omens.
I'm working on it.
It was my first one, okay? Okay. All right, so we have a little back and forth because, holy moly, traveling is real, and we have it now. And now we've got Galgan and Beslan both being like, whoa, this changes the art of war, because how about all these different things that you can do now? You could have someone pop into the Empress's chambers right now.
Oh, yeah, because they're like, oh, no, we should probably protect you better.
Yeah, and then, like, as soon as that gets said, the Death Watch guards who are here are like, oh shit. Like, we gotta change our strategies here, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that is, obviously, it's a huge thing. And now, we got a plan, because we don't want this getting out. We don't want to tell everyone we have it until we can, like, use it. We got to get all the Damani who are everywhere. We got to get them back. to here to train them, because Galgan brings up the point like, okay, I want to know limitations on the gateways.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
How big can you make them?
This...
How long? Where
Yeah.
can we make them? Can every Aes Sedai, like every... Oh, jeez, I just said Aes Sedai.
Oh, how embarrassing.
That's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Can every Damani
you
do
said
this?
That right in front of the Empress, too.
Oh,
I can't
right in front of
believe
her.
it.
Terrible. I can't believe he would even say that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I told you, nothing else good's happening today.
We got to figure out all limitations. And this is when they also start to figure out, like, hey, maybe that big giant... You remember that weapon that the Aes Sedai had?
Oh, yeah, we've been trying to figure that out for a long time.
Maybe
it's not an atomic bomb?
Maybe it was just some sort of crazy terangrial misfire or something. We don't really know, but we can just ignore that now because, like, there is no weapon that the Aes Sedai have.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just an accident.
Right. So we're going to go with that for now. But yeah, so now we've got Fortuana announcing this is the next step in the plan. We got to get everybody trained up on how to do this.
Yep.
And now that we've been given a method to strike, we can go and attack the White Tower.
We need the White Tower again.
Full force.
Because they're going to be
Empire.
setting up. They're going to be getting so ready for our next attack. You know what's not happening in the White Tower?
Not that.
Getting ready for your next attack.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting because Selucia and Fortuana are having this like back and forth about what they can do. And it's like, imagine just popping up in the basements of the White Tower with thousands and thousands of troops. That would be devastating. It's like, yep,
yes.
Yeah, yes,
mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay.
Well,
so
the White Tower's doomed.
That's what they say.
Abandoned ship.
We can start a new tower. No, we can't
because
they can travel.
I actually know one in construction that you can't travel into.
That's true. Oh man, we need a dream spike.
Let's just
Whoa!
Wait, to use to our benefit.
That was literally the point of the dream spike, is that you can move it around.
Yeah.
So you can't travel into places.
No, that's great.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty helpful tool.
But you can't travel out of places either.
That's not what the conversation was. If you know the password or whatever it is, like if you know how to do it, you can still travel.
Lila always says the password to get into her room.
You're just gonna say it?
Oh no.
You're just gonna say it?
Can you guess?
No.
Oh, really? Sparkle Unicorn.
No. Yeah. Okay.
So.
I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Move. You're smaller than I am. I'm big, you're little.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is horrible.
Yeah, it's not great.
And it feels bad. And you know why it feels bad? Because
the people we don't want to have traveling, and they will use it more effectively than any Aes Sedai.
That's why it's so annoying, because I really want to hate the Shanchan.
They're going to figure out how to maximize on the usefulness of it, like 100%. There's no question that they're going to figure out how to use gateways better than anybody in Randland.
They're so formidable.
Well, all the Randlanders are like, oh, we can move grain faster, sort of. And
then
we can pass some messages.
Remember when they were like steam engines?
Yeah. I would send the steam engine through the gateway. It's like, I don't even know, man.
Yeah, they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of this perspective.
Yeah, and it's the end of the White Tower. Okay, next perspective.
It certainly feels that way, yeah.
It doesn't feel...
I really can't see
how it's going to go.
Honestly,
yeah.
I just can't see how they're going to get out of this one.
Right.
Unless Elida strikes a deal and trades a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, because then the Shantra will be like, okay, now we won't use gateways.
Yeah.
We'll uphold that agreement.
Yeah, so this is all really what's-her-name's fault, who escaped the rebel camp and showed Elida traveling. That one. It's her fault.
Yes. You're right. Okay, hold on.
You're never gonna know. You're not gonna know it off the top of your head.
No. Hold on.
You're never gonna get it. I don't know it. I just know that it happened. So with a B?
Bayonin?
Maybe.
I can't remember.
Are you gonna look it up? It doesn't matter.
Do it.
How
it
are
does
we gonna
matter.
figure it out? How are you ever gonna look that up? What specific thing are you gonna? Ridiculous. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Time lapse. We looked it up. It was Bayonin. We were right. Yeah, good for us. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Cool. I bet there were people just screaming.
Oh, maybe.
At us.
Probably. Yeah, no, you're right. Bayonin was originally like part of the Salvador Six, but she was planted as a spy.
She's a spy.
And then after Egwene got captured, because she did swear the oath to like obey Egwene.
Yeah.
But then after she got captured, she was like, not Amyrlin anymore. So
Right.
now and then she went back and taught frickin'
Elida.
Elida traveling. It is her fault.
It is Bayonin's fault. But who taught Bayonin traveling? Because, like, let's take it one step further. You want to look that up?
Back.
Yeah, because it's really their fault.
You know what? I don't want to look that up. Probably Egwene. Is it Egwene's fault?
Oh no!
She basically rediscovered it, and taught everyone. So it's Egwene's fault.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Really, I blame Egwene's mom
for having
Egwene.
Okay.
Are we done?
Okay, mostly Bayonin. I just blame Bayonin.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so we're gonna end that perspective because the White Tower's doomed, and that feels terrible.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's all.
That feels bad, and move on.
Okay, let's feel good about something now.
Some buddies having some ketchup time.
That's all that's happening
over some
here.
beer.
That's basically it.
It sounds great.
You know what? And it's basically like a nothing perspective. Like,
I love it though.
No new information is real to us.
I know, but I love it.
Just
I love it.
Drinks.
I love it. I love the communication, and I love the ketchup, and I like how Grady has no sense of humor, and he's like,
you didn't set the stage here. So
I know, but we're
in parents' perspective. You're saying everything that happens.
I know, because it's fun.
We're in parents' perspective, and he's with Matt and Tom, and they're having drinks.
Yeah,
we did it.
Private room of an inn.
We're doing it. We're doing this. Okay, and we are actually sharing so much information, which we basically never do.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and because they haven't seen each other.
Yeah.
Since Tyr.
Long time.
Yeah.
So, how's the Two Rivers? How about Malden, the Prophet? Hey, you're married. You have Alejandra.
Hey, also, you're married.
You're married. And Galad is here. How is that guy? And Matt's like, Galad, how about that guy?
Yeah.
Because the last time he saw Galad was like the
at
staff
the tower.
Fight, probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. But good for them for bantering.
Yeah.
And we get a timestamp.
2 weeks since Varen dropped off the note.
Yes, over 2 weeks. It's been over 2 weeks.
I interpreted it as it's been 2 weeks.
But basically 2 weeks.
Yeah.
20 days-ish.
Oh, right.
Weeks or 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Perrin wants to see the note and even tries to like hold it up to the light. And Matt's like, that doesn't work. I tried that already. Mm-hmm. But he's true to his word.
Well, I hope Varen comes back soon because...
Have you seen her? No, man.
No. And also, I hope she's okay.
Got bad news for you, man.
Not okay.
Well, you know what? She might be a little bit okay.
Maybe less tormented.
She's not tormented because she didn't break any of her oaths.
No. I mean, just like mentally.
Varen?
Yeah. It's probably hard to be like mostly on the side of good, but then have to be a bad person.
Yeah, I get that. Okay. Yeah. I totally get that.
You get that.
I get that.
You.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're even more Galad than I even ever realized. Like, you're so black
I break
and white.
rules. I've broken rules before, probably, that I didn't know about.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so we're going to get interrupted by the innkeeper.
Yeah.
And Grady poking their heads in.
Right, because he's been told that he has to remind Perrin when it's midnight and it's time to go home to your wife.
Lady Fail says it's midnight.
Yeah. General banter, wives, right?
Oh,
Am I right, everybody?
Good thing I left mine in another kingdom.
We get it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Empire.
Yeah.
Not kingdom.
Right. And
although there is King Beslan.
That's true.
But she's the empress.
Yeah.
But
nation.
not of...
We use the word nation here for a lot, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyways, there's lots of back and forth, and then ToM ends up telling a story about some old tribes people of Almouth Plain a long time ago.
Matt gets it because memories and stuff, and
Matt
everyone's like,
doesn't
whoa.
just get it because of memories and stuff. Matt was there. In his memories, he was the guy.
Yeah.
Like, he tells it so specifically that Tom's like, huh.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
I didn't know that you would know those songs and those stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now, it's also important to note that because Varen was here, like 2 weeks ago, with those pictures...
Yeah.
With their faces on it, with dark friends looking for them.
Yeah.
That's not a long time. And the fact that they're so known everywhere at this point is not safe for them.
Well, Matt keeps saying it, and Perrin's like, and he's like,
we should lay low. And then Tom's like, Perrin, Matt actually is taking it pretty seriously. He's sleeping in a different tent every night. He's like going different places. He's sleeping all over the place. And maybe you should do the same.
Nah, we could set a trap. In his tent.
Well, I like that idea too.
With Aiel there or something.
Well, no, after he
Right.
moves and sleeps somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyway.
Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, I think something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Anyway, finally, the topic changes to
Okay.
something very exciting.
Yes.
And it's only super medium exciting because they only mention it and then the chapter ends.
Well, yeah, but it's new to Perrin.
Okay, Matt tells Perrin he's going to leave soon and he's going to need a gateway because Moraine is alive and we're going to go rescue her.
Whoa.
At a shiny tower.
You know about it? Yep. Tower Genji.
Yeah.
We got to go there. Yep. And a lot of communication, a lot of sharing.
Yeah.
And Matt goes on a bit of a rant about
we're gonna need more beer.
You need more beer, more gateways,
and you should probably send a message to Fael that you're not coming home soon.
Yeah, because wives, right?
Yeah.
Again, that joke is used.
Communicating with wives and telling them
Staying
where
out
you
late
are.
with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
But yeah.
The whole thing. No one else can come.
Only 3 can come, and he knows who they are. And Oliver's going to kill him for not being like one of the ones that goes.
Yeah.
So we've got, who are the 3?
ToM, Matt, Jane Farstrider.
Let's go say Moraine.
What's his name? Noam.
Noel.
Noel.
Noam's a different character. Come on.
Yeah, no, I remember. He's a wolf guy. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? ToM smells excited about rescuing Moraine.
Well, yeah, it's an adventure.
Yeah. That's it.
Not because he loves her or anything. Long lost loves?
Well, maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've been speculating on that since book 1, and I'm like,
we'll
I'm
see.
not even excited about it. I don't even care anymore.
You've never cared about it ever.
I cared about it a little bit at the beginning. It was like the only thing to speculate on that was exciting.
Yeah, and what? Like 5 years later, you're not. Come on.
Long more than that. Long more than that.
Long more than that. It's been 5 years.
6.
6 years.
We're in May.
Ugh.
We're coming up on our 6-year anniversary.
Oh my goodness.
In 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Which we should probably actually acknowledge.
Maybe.
I actually just realized it's May.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6 years.
Okay.
How about that?
Mm.
Anyway, okay, well, that's the end of this chapter. And I'm excited to read on because I get how many?
You get 1 chapter. Oh, hold on. Let me see. No, we'll do 2 chapters.
What?
It wasn't in my plans originally.
But it's in your plan now?
It's a fair amount of pages, but let's do that.
Yahoo! Well, before you go ahead and meet up with your long-lost buddy for drinks and ketchup, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Hey, thanks so much for sticking around. That's the end of another fun episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, Gabby Young, Rycat, Zane Sayaka, Matrix, Matt Truss, The Albatross, Bratimus Prime, Sarah Creech, Sims, and Saverio Bartolini. With music by Audionautics. Now, everyone, please be sure to go check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon-exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And, at the time of recording, we have almost 50 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. As always, please be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. For general information about our show, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.